Oh yeah, it's starting. It's coming.
Oh boy.
It's going.
Can't wait. It's happening.
Welcome to the motherfucking Void podcast. Long time no see. Long time friend over here.
Yo.
Last time I saw him, we have a new term for time, pre-ball drop. So
Yeah.
it was definitely pre-ball drop for both of us. I still got a pretty squeaky voice. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe the other one will come down eventually. But who are you? And welcome to the show.
Yo, I'm Ethan, and that's kind of it. I ride a skateboard.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That's the most interesting part about me.
No, there's a lot of layers to that, but
We can get into it.
I would say you know, I've been kind of on the gram following skate people because, you know, our good friend Nick, he's like, you know, kind of been putting me on game because I used to skateboard way back. Like I had like a phase, but I broke my leg, and ever since then, like the board anxiety is crazy, which I'm sure we'll get into as well. But
I'm down to talk about injuries.
I just saw you won the Philly AM, like that was crazy. Because I don't know, back in the day, that was always kind of a cool thing. I think they've been going for what, like 10 years, 20 years.
God, it's a big anniversary soon. I think this year it's roughly 20.
I've seen them on the
over.
gram for a minute.
Yeah, I've been competing in the Philly Am since I was probably 10 or 11.
Holy fuck. So yeah, you definitely have been, that anniversary is going to mean a lot to you then.
Yeah. I have to miss this one.
How's it feel to win? Oh wait, so you're not going to be in the, because there's one coming on May, right?
Yeah, not this next one. That's my birthday weekend and my anniversary weekend with my girlfriend. So we're going to Hershey Park and riding some roller coasters.
Shout out to roller coasters.
Yeah.
But okay, how did it feel winning? And I guess what's kind of your background with skating? Obviously, you've been doing it since you're 10. But what got you into it as a kid? Do you even remember?
So I've been doing it since I was 5.
Oh, geez, like so you're on some Tony Hawk shit.
20 years, and I got into it. I think one of my sisters showed me like this website with a bunch of like different extreme sports on it. So like scooter, bikes, skateboards, all that stuff.
Yeah, probably like I guess like what is it, X Games or something?
Like a hub, something like that. And I was like, damn, the skateboard looks sick. And we went to like Walmart or Target or something one day and got one of those awful boards. Yeah. And that lasted for maybe a year, 5 to 6. And then first.
Well, I mean, learning how to just get your balance on. Were you like, are you kind? I guess you're kind of gifted at balance, you know, per se. But
it takes a second. You gotta wear all the pads.
I swear, my equilibrium is fucked. Like, I have no sense of equilibrium.
Yeah, no, I can't remember like the first steps of learning too much. I just know I was in my driveway a bunch.
Yeah, you were just driveway. Maybe did you have a ramp or anything? Or at this
we
point,
had those plastic ramps, like they connected by nothing. Well, so you just kind of pushed them against each other, and it was so dangerous.
Yeah, I assume 5-year-old though, like you're so light and like you're so low to the ground at that point in life. Like I feel like you're way less accident prone. But did you have any bad spills when you were a kid, or?
I was lucky as fuck when I was a kid up until maybe 12 years old, and that's when I broke my first bone.
12. So you had a streak, yo. That's like an ungodly long time to break it, not even like twist your ankle or anything. Jeez.
It was so nice. And then first broken bone, I was like, this is really just gonna start happening now. Yeah, I was doing a rail trick down. So have you heard of X Park in the Franklin Mills Mall?
Oh yeah,
closed.
Diamond, I think it became Diamond Block or something. So I've been there. That's a great spot.
It was Woodward, and then it was Black Diamond, but it was like known as X Park. And there was a mini handrail in the back. It was a down rail.
Oh my God, I'm getting like flashbacks. This place is cursed. Like this really shows you where America kind of went. Like we used to have malls with fucking. We used to have mall days. Like I feel like no one goes to the mall anymore. Not even Black Friday.
Sucks. You look
like this place was like a dream for a kid. Like it's like gigantic 90-foot ramps, and then just like surrounded by like all bunch of little boxes and like bowls, and it was crazy.
Yeah, but no, I was doing this trick down that down rail, and I just like twisted my foot in the wrong way, and I just felt like a sharp pain in my toe. I was like, well, guess I broke my toe.
Damn.
And that was kind of the
only a toe break is insane though. You're like the geez, and okay, so. What's kind of your worst bail that you've either seen or been a part of since then? Like recently, I guess I should say.
So I've had a few pretty bad spills as of the past few years.
I'm gonna say, the older you get, the harder it gets. Like Tony Hawk be doing some crazy shit, or like even Bam be fucking breaking his bones every fucking week nowadays.
We were hanging out. I was hanging out with Bam at Pennsauken Park. Like,
oh, he gets around,
dude. He really gets around. Like, it was crazy.
He literally does stay in PA and like the Philly. I mean, he doesn't really come to Philly too much. He's more like. I've seen him at his like he's letting people in Bam's Castle again.
I was over there a few times like a few years ago. I skated there the first time probably a year ago or so. Not this past December, but the last December. And then last summer sometime.
I feel like you're gonna see a lot of bad bails there because people just want to impress Bam and like wow. Like it's like if you have the opportunity to do a crazy trick in front of Bam, you're gonna try it. Like,
but no, it's a really sick park. Like the ramps are massive and the ceilings are massive and it's super slippery. So you have to like, I personally wear pads, but I know some of my homies like.
I know that's a debate in the skate community, padders versus like just letting it just fucking, I'm going to break everything.
It used to be worse. Like a lot of people I used to wear a helmet all the time and people used to just hound me for it.
Oh, trust me. We know because we found in the research for this video, we found a very particular channel, which we want to know is it coming back? Well, when is Ethan skating coming back, bro?
Bro, I think that's a complete body of work. I think Ethan skating is a complete body of work.
For those who don't know, Ethan skating is actually one of the top skating YouTube channels of the 2010s.
You can find
which people do clown him in the comments for wearing a helmet.
Yeah, and you can find old Black Diamond montages there, Ambler montages, and we go back sometimes. I went back the other night. I went back to watch this clip. It was actually on my homie's channel, Barracks Love. And it was in the old Black Diamond skate park in the Morristown Mall. I was doing like a kickflip over this rail. You saw that? And we were just laughing at that so hard because I was like 11 years old, just trying to get super buck.
You're just trying to get sponsored by anybody or like anything. Like I'll even get sponsored by fucking everybody was all about revenge skateboards on YouTube for so long.
Revive. Yeah, we don't discuss. That's like Scientology shit.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Mormons
nuts.
on skateboards is even a problem. Like how the fuck, like, or Scientology, like that whole, it's crazy. I never thought it'd be like go the religious like cult vibe, but that dude's crazy. I saw this whole video about he was basically like scamming his fans and like doing all this crazy shit, giving like millions to Scientology a year. That's
just saying. Aaron Cairo, don't hit me up. I don't want to talk.
But back then, you might have wanted to talk. Ethan skating.
I don't know, bro.
How do you feel about like sponsorships? Like, what kind of would win you into like? What are some brands you would want to work with versus not work with?
I've been like, so I had a part with Bronson Bearings, around like a year and a half ago or so, which was really cool, and like get bearings from them. And then like I love like Thunder trucks and all that stuff and like really just like riding them. Board brands, like I used to be like, I want to ride for this brand or whatever, but now in my head it's just like I'm all in on the skate shop, Antique Skate Shop, and our graphics are sick and our boards are really good, so like I'll just ride them forever. Like I don't give a fuck. How did you like kind of build that relationship with them? Were you just always going there to buy shit, or like, you know, it's very like natural, or like did they hit you up? How'd that kind of all come together? My homie Pat, he was like running a bunch of the stuff with Black Diamond back in the day, doing like manager work and all that stuff. Same thing with Sean Gallagher Senior. Shout outs both Pat and Senior. But I was like old homies with them. They knew me when I was a baby, and then they ran a few skate shops like leading up to this. And then like last one was Curbside. There was like Square Peg back in the day. And then Antics opened up 2022, early 2022, I want to say, because it's our 3-year anniversary. So yeah, I started going there a few months after they opened. and just like started talking to Pat. He knew I had like, you know, a lot of experience in like photo and video and all that stuff, especially from back in the day.
I guess, so you kind of like running their YouTube exclusively now?
Yeah, so like YouTube and Instagram mainly, like we do a lot of stuff for that. Instagram I feel like we're pretty big on, but like YouTube is just where I'm throwing up all like the bigger videos and stuff like
YouTube
that.
Is
like
super hard to grow until you're famous, you know. Like,
yeah, and that stuff doesn't really like matter too much. We just want to do stuff for the community. Like, as if a lot of people see it, it's sick because like they're seeing our community grow and not
it feels
like
like
any
more
particular
of a hub for
like,
local legends versus some, you know, trying to compete with like the fucking elite monopolies of skateboarding.
Yeah.
I totally get that, and honestly, it's a lot. That's kind of the same approach we have. It's like our podcast on paper seems like okay, like no one's really listening, but like people around here know what the fuck, like they tune in. They're like, they hit me up when I don't drop, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you obviously knew them for a long time.
Yeah.
How does a video like Stop 3 come together? Because that's like the big one of the year so far.
Yeah.
And, like, you guys really traveled, I've heard, and all this shit. So how did that all come to be? And like, what's the story there?
So it was.
Go watch that, by the way.
Yeah. Stop 3's out
like 8
now.
minutes. You got 8 minutes.
We went to North Carolina. I would love to get more into like the story behind that one, but just like backstory on all the videos. So I started like working at the shop maybe like August or September of the year they opened, 2022. And then they were like, we want a video for our 1-year anniversary. So and that was like super short notice. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. Like I'm just going to go out as many times as all the homies are able to.
Yeah.
And just film a bunch. So like our first video was Station Atlantic.
Quantity, and then just pull out the quality from the quantity.
Right.
Like you're just like, we're gonna shoot every session.
Yeah.
No practice. It's all on fucking live. Like
yeah.
That's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, that's how the first video, Station Atlantic, came about, and that's 11 minutes. And then all of the homies who were like super deep into the antics lore and all that stuff, they were like, well, let's film a full length with parts on stuff. So the second video, Destination Station, took a year. And we were out almost every weekend. We went to Miami. Crap. We went on a team trip to Miami, which was crazy. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun. And we had a huge premiere for it at the 2-year anniversary. So now
Miami's a crazy spot. I've been telling I don't think Nick's been there to skate yet, but I've been telling him, get there, man. There's so many cool spots, like especially for street stuff. Because I know you kind of do more park stuff as well.
I try and teeter the line of both, because streets get really exhausting. Just like mentally, mentally, like figuring out a new spot all the time is kind of draining.
You're gonna kill your gas tank.
Yeah, sure. And also like when you're trying the hardest shit, like when you're trying to film for a part or anything like that. You just kind of like during the work week and all that stuff, or even on a lazy weekend, you just want to go to the park and just hang out with your friends and like skate the stuff that you know how to skate.
Yeah, and get a lot. That's a good point. I never really thought about that. Like street is like literally figuring it out along the way every second, whereas like the park is really like it's more like a gym. You know, like you know, you go there to practice your tech stuff. And I kind of want to ask you about like for the Philly AM, for example. How do you know what tricks you want to do for your like line? Like, is there certain requirements? Because I've never really understood like competitive skating in the sense where it's like a judge based thing. Like, how does that all kind of work? Because I'm sure most people on here are not going to have any idea.
So there are a few different formats of how you can like structure a contest. There are runs, /lines, and jams, and then also like best trick, single trick. So the Philly Am actually used to do runs, and that shit took all day. We would get done at like 5 or 6 at night and all that stuff, and it would be exhausting. Like that's a rough estimate, because I guess all the guys at the Philly M would be able to tell me better like what time they actually got done. But I remember as like
then there's
11,
probably
12.
Clean up and all that
shit,
so that adds time.
Yeah, but like as a young kid, I was like, damn, I'm waiting all day just to see the results. But now they've shifted over to more of the jam format, which is like 5 skaters for 5 minutes, and you just kind of do your best stuff. And yeah, you want to land everything so that you have more to score, but sometimes it is also just about like the quality and the difficulty of the tricks.
Okay, so I guess like it's more on the judges of that. So you kind of like, do judges kind of tell you how they score things, like what impresses them, or is it just all RNG?
It's
in a certain way.
It's like not really hidden criteria, but more so like do your best, skate how you skate, like show prove to whoever is judging that you're kind of worth their time to watch, and that it's intuitive at that point.
Yeah, because there's some skaters I watch on Instagram where they're not even doing like the most vertically high jumps or anything, but they're just super creative. Like
and like that's a big part of it.
That it's kind of like UFC. Like UFC judges get called out all the time because like the fans will be like, no, this person won, this person won. Is that kind of what happens at skate jams too, or
sometimes? And that's like, I don't know. It's less local and more that will happen like
in the big like SLS.
Street league, and street league. There are just so many like
I always
complaints
see
about the
some
judging.
People, I always see people tweaking on Twitter about that shit.
But that shit's just fun nowadays. Like it doesn't.
How do you feel about Olympic skateboarding?
I don't really think about it too much. Like it's cool that we get such a big stand.
I just wonder how you would get into some shit like that. Like what makes you an Olympic skateboard? Like,
crazy training. And like I guess like putting yourself in front of people, like a lot of guys from Street League will be in the Olympics. Okay, so it's kind of a pipeline. But I don't know. Olympic skateboarding, it never like bothered me. It never like stoked me out. It was just like, oh, cool, another skate contest that we have. And like I said, we're on a big stage. But oh, okay. Backtracking completely because
we got to get back to stop.
I want to talk about these videos. So Destination Station was a crazy experience, and that could be a fucking 3-hour podcast. I could talk about
we'll switch to that.
But then we needed a huge break after that because, like I said, it was like a year of nonstop.
Well, I'm sure people are like, I got to do my own shit at this point. Like we've been grinding this video for a year straight.
Yeah, and then on top of that, my homie Mike was making a video called "Go Home." It was his like. It was part of a trilogy. He has Clock In, Clock Out, and Go Home. Oh my gosh!
I like that.
So like,
that's hard.
A lot of us who were a part of, or who are a part of the Antics Squad, were also filming for that. And I picked up filming a part for that summer too. So it was like I can't film as much. I want to film like I want him to film me. So
and you
I
also still want to get your own clips,
right? So a bunch of us worked on that last summer, and then this past year we were like, all right, well we still want a video. But what are we going to do for it? Let's take a trip.
Okay. And so that's NC.
Yeah. My homie, Nick Vespi and his wife, Taylor, they live down there in South Carolina. And he was like, why don't you just come to us, like explore the area? So we went to Charlotte, North Carolina, saw them, skated and all that stuff. And yeah, we were able to get spots from some of the local homies out there.
I'm about to say, those spots looked really crazy. I didn't realize North Carolina even looked like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like cool hidden gems there. But it was cool 4 days.
There's tons of fireworks.
What do you mean? Is there like a
south of the border in South Carolina, the border between South and North? Mm-hmm. If you go to that border, apparently like the firework laws are really like loose, so you can buy like $30, you can buy like some pretty crazy shit.
That's nothing like up here.
So, no. You can't even. You can get some stuff in Pennsylvania, but anyways.
But no.
Let me dissect the video a little bit because what makes you pick certain clips? Like, what is the cutting room floor like, and then what makes you pick certain songs?
So like for this past video, because the last video I was more concerned about doing something local, so it was a bunch of local artists. Dan Brooks was in there.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod, Dan Brooks, the homie.
Our vinyl loving homie.
Yeah.
Dead guy.
Wisdom tooth guy now. He just got his wisdom tooth out, and I tried to claim him.
Dan, you were geeked off that fucking that Nitrous show. You was like Kanye for a minute there.
Well, we still bring up Kanye nowadays.
That's the one that got away, man. He fell off.
He
fell off the skateboard hard. Dude.
Yeah, he's far
his
gone.
Truck blew out.
But no, last video, like I said, was like a bunch of local artists, and then this time around, it was like, all right, let me like pick something that really like is speaking to me right now. Doesn't have to be a local artist. Doesn't have to be like anything specific. Just like what is kind of vibing in my head, or like that has come up like at work or something on the radio or something that I really like. And so that's kind of how like
any earworms.
Yeah. And so that was the first song. And then the second song was just like, all right, like what do I pick that I know that I like, and just Mac DeMarco vibes, like whatever.
Boom,
but
throw that shit in there.
Yeah, but in terms of like cutting skate tricks and all that stuff, like there's not much. There's probably like 30 seconds to a minute that was cut, and I told everybody beforehand, I was like, I'm probably gonna be cutting like 2 or 3 clips of everybody's, just so the video isn't, too long, and also just so that everything.
Yeah, I like that, and I also like that you don't really like put like clickbaity shit, because a lot of skate videos became more like jackass skit videos. I felt like for the longest time, but you guys really try to like emphasize the tricks.
Yeah,
which I appreciate, and then you throw your little snippets of stuff, which is
the B-roll.
It's like sometimes like I felt like the skate videos were just becoming like vlogs more than actual skate videos. Like I do miss the golden era, but
it's a nice balance that you have to strike between like B-roll and funny shit and
we need the North Pole boys to come back. Yeah. We want one more tape, because we had another kind of collective that was doing videos, and I like when people just show the tricks just raw, back to back to back, like hitting you in the fucking face with a hammer. And you definitely did that. So. Yeah,
and it's cool. I want to like give everybody their shine too, of like, since we had parts in the last video, everybody had like their section. It was 2 or 3 minutes, but I wanted to keep the same like vibe in this video of everybody has most of their tricks in their one section, so that people can like focus on that.
Yeah, like you can like if it's like all right, let me just skip ahead. Boom. All right, let me skip it, and it's a whole new skater. It's pretty cool.
Sometimes it gets frustrating in skate videos where like they don't show the name, and I know like GX does this a lot. GX 1000 out of San Francisco, and they're a really cool company. There's like so many gnarly skaters in that collective. But the one like pet peeve that I have about their videos is just a lot of the times it's just a montage with no names. And I'm like, who the fuck is skating right now?
Well, I guess it's kind of punker, It's kind of like cool to be like, you don't even know us, bro. We just be shredding, like.
Which I mean that's a whole like creative choice in and of itself, which is cool. Like I like to know who the skater is and like who I get to focus on.
I've always liked the New York skate videos, because they always like kind of make it like MTV intros. Like they try to do like WWE intros to like introduce their skaters, like DGK videos back in the day. And stuff.
That trip was super fun. It was 4 days in Charlotte.
Damn, you grinded that shit out then.
Well, we only needed 3.
Your poor fucking legs, bro.
It was so bad. Midway through day 3, we were just like, we're leaving early tomorrow because we can't do it anymore. It was so crazy.
Long nights.
But who was your favorite skater in the Stop 3 video?
I thought Nick killed it, because
Thanks for saying that.
He literally jumped the fucking boulder. And I felt like you weren't in the video enough, but I knew you were behind the camera. So I was like, okay, obviously he's not going to be in the video a lot as much, because it's like you're worried about getting clips. Like, I'm sure. Like,
I don't got to be in the video that much.
It's a video by you, so like that's all that really matters. You shot everything mostly. I'm sure you've had,
Yeah, the homies. Like I got a bunch of the homies to like film me and also just like, film around. We had 2 cameras, so it was easier to get more footage, which was sick. But, like my buddy Kyle Barton.
That one hop into the long ass gigantic grind. Like Nick was crazy, bro.
Oh my god.
I pray for his fucking limbs, bro.
That grind, frontside Smith grind on that long rail was super sick, and he did it so fast.
Yeah, like it was.
He did it before our whole squad like pulled up. Like it was kind of like a minimal squad there when he did it. And then our squad pulled up, and the security guard came out, and she was like, I was watching from the inside. That was really sick. You guys got to leave now. And we were like, that's fine.
Got the clip.
They're so nice down there. We got kicked out in the nicest ways.
So what is your what is your top kick out story? Like what was like damn near the cops were there, et cetera, et cetera? Or has it usually been pretty chill?
It's been so chill recently. Kickouts have been super chill. I don't know. Like there was a guy in North Carolina who was like, I think it's a buzzkill.
Everybody thinks they know. Everybody's filming shit now.
Yeah,
like, I feel like it's really more widespread known. Like if you're gonna Karen out, you're gonna get filmed.
Yeah, and also like we kind of know the spots to go to where it's going to be chill, because we want as much time to try our tricks as possible. Yeah. And then when you don't have enough time, you go like pretty underground, like maybe a filmer and your homie to spot you and all that stuff. And then just like grind it out really quick. Practice your trick.
Lower number of people, because once you bring a swarm of like 30 guys with skateboards, like that's just asking for it. It's kind of your advice, I guess.
Yeah, and like I said, it feels like everything's chilled out so much over the past few years in terms of getting kicked out. But there was a security guard in North Carolina behind it was like their equivalent of a ShopRite or something like that, and he was just like, "You guys, you got to get out of here." And then he took pictures of all our plates, and I'm like, "We're leaving. Like, you don't
I will not be back here ever again."
Yeah, I don't live here. I won't be back here. I'm remembering, but Nick, he really impressed me. And I told him before the trip, I was like, "I need you to get clips," and he was like, okay. And I was like, I'm gonna point the camera at you. You need to get clips. And
I loved his clips. I mean, everybody's clips were like really good.
Oh yeah, like
just off the top of my head, like if you asked me, like that was my favorite portion. But the whole video was great. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I am super proud of all the homies who went. Like, dude, Colby, Ronnie, Josh, Kyle, like Dom, like just all the homies. Like,
and what's next?
Sean. I can't forget everybody. Hold on. Who else was in the video?
Zach,
Ethan, Ethan squared. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. But Nick Vespi. Shout out to Nick Vespi. He's a super talented photographer. Shoots for BKFC mainly.
Oh, okay.
And he
I remember hearing about this shit.
He's unbelievable with skate photography. And so, like, when we went out there,
like taking pictures of crazy shit.
And so he shreds on the board, but then like when he's not getting clips behind the camera, like he's just out and about. And when he sent me that Google Drive folder of like photos from the trip, I was like, oh my god,
just like
you are the best.
If you know how to do the trick, it's going to be even easier to shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't ever fight this man, because he's taking pictures of people with their bare knuckles going through heads. Yeah. So I don't want to fuck with that.
It was an honor. I went to the Philly event to like just like snap some photos or whatever, have fun.
Yeah.
He was like able to I was able to get a press pass and all that stuff. And it was really just a wild experience. Like,
you better be, you'll be winning events now. So you better be. You're on the Void podcast. That's a press pass right there, dude.
BKFC is a whole different beast.
No, I would genuinely shit my pants to meet those guys, bro. Like,
but
we've been to a UFC a couple times, and it's just insane to see those people fight in real life. Like, it's genuinely like, you are a warrior. Like, you will fuck me up. But
for real.
All right, this is not that type of podcast, people. We don't talk about UFC. So back to what's to come? What's the rest of 2025 looking like? You got anything that you can share? Or
we got next up, we're working on an event for Go Skate Day, which is June 21st.
June 21st. I always knew about Go Skate Day, but I forget what day it is every year.
Yeah, June 21st every year. And there's like, I don't know, we're just on the cusp of figuring that out. And then
I'm sure there'll be people in Philly doing the whole marathon with the longboard down that giant ass hill.
There's going to be events all over. Like we're going to have an event. There's going to be an event in Philly, I'm sure. There's an event in AC that's going to be really sick. So just like a bunch of different stuff going around.
And you're just like
around the area.
And you're going to go from place to place, or
no? It's like, unfortunately, on a day like Go Skate Day, you just kind of have to like. You kind of have to lock in on your community and all that stuff. Since it's such a big day around, like, I guess, wherever, the world. Everywhere celebrates it. Every skate culture celebrates it. But, like, you kind of have to focus on, like, okay, how can I best serve my community on this day? Because it's such, like, it's a celebration.
It's skateboard's holiday, like, and all skateboarding culture. So, okay. So maybe we'll have to pop out.
Yeah, definitely. And then on... This summer sometime is going to be the 3-year anniversary of Pennsauken Park being rebuilt.
Ooh, okay.
So that we're going to try and have a big event for. Speaking of Pennsauken Park, I've got another video dropping this summer. I don't know the title, but it is going to be...
So we got a video and 2 events, so it's going to be a busy summer for you.
The P video, which is going to be all Pennsauken Park. We've been working on that for like 2.5 years.
Push P.
That's what we've been doing for fucking 2.5 years. And everybody's like, when is it coming out? When is it coming out?
People's hairstyle is going to change in the clips.
The park has changed so much. Like, you see different iterations of the park throughout the whole like video, and it's just so weird. It's like crazy blasts from the past and different eras.
Well, you're gonna have to work on the segmentation then. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky.
Which is like the hardest part of it all.
Yeah, it's like, all right, clip from this far back, and then you can't just be a brand new clip, you know?
Yeah, but
you'll figure it out.
And then from there, we have a Halloween event every year that I'm super stoked for.
What are you dressing up as? Huh?
I have no idea. I usually just dress up in some random shit that I can skate in.
I think this year I'm gonna go with the Steve from the Minecraft movie. You know,
did you see it?
Of course.
I
got caught. I got caught with soda and popcorn during Chicken Jockey. You know.
Did you throw it?
I did not throw it. What? I'm a fat motherfucker, bro. You think I'm throwing away a $20 popcorn, dude? I just spent like $30 to get this shit.
You can sneak that shit in though, like from Wawa or something.
I choose to sneak other things into this.
Okay, that's fair.
Like soju.
So, yeah. But, listen, that's like kind of easy to sneak into an AMC. Just saying.
Well,
I've never done it. But from what I've heard, it's pretty easy to sneak wine into an AMC.
Teenage boys these days, we're fucked. The next generation's fucked. You know, I'm already an unk. But
dude, we've been on Minecraft recently. Actually, me and the P homies.
I mean, it's a fun ass game,
it's great.
And I'm telling you, it's a good ass movie. I honestly recommend watching it. But the Chicken Jockey meme was like at peak when we went and saw it. Like it literally just came out, so I knew something was gonna happen. I just didn't know.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, I just didn't.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we screwed up with that one, but it was a good movie, and so yeah, I'm gonna be Steve from Minecraft.
That's sick.
Shout
out to my boy Colby, by the way, for they've been playing Bedrock, just like the homies been playing Bedrock, and I was just like, dude, I'm not paying for PlayStation Plus right now. I'm not fucking spending the money. I know it's $10 a month. Don't comment.
Hey, listen,
but I was
you shouldn't have to pay to play an online game.
That's what I'm saying. And I was like, I want to play with you guys, but like, I'm not around my PlayStation as often. And my boy was like, I got you. And he hooked me up with a rental laptop. Like he's just like loaning me a laptop to play play Bedrock
Minecraft?
with.
That's so based.
Like, you're the best.
Colby's are always based.
Yo, shout out Colby for that. And also shout out Colby for doing some crazy tricks in Stop 3. He is the homie. I've known Colby since we were like 8.
Who just lends a laptop, bro? That's a real ass friend right
there.
The
realest friend. but no, I've known him since we were 7 or 8 years old at the Black Diamond Skate Park. And
that's crazy that we could have crossed paths when we were both so young.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I was there because I was into BMX when I was a kid, and like scooter. I was a scooter kid for a little bit, and then I'm like, fuck the scooter. Let me get the BMX.
Yeah,
and like I remember like all my friends would host their birthday parties there. So it was like we had 3 weekends back to back of like people that were, having a birthday and shit.
Yeah.
And we're just terrorizing that. Like I never took the BMX bike down the giant mega ramp though, the vert ramp.
Oh my God, that thing's horrifying.
Yeah.
I used to drop in on it. Sometimes I tried to learn little things, but
no,
like,
it's
as when you're less than 5 feet tall, it's
yeah, like that.
Scary.
We used to just slide down it on our butts type shit. Like it was basically a giant slide.
Yeah. And nowadays, like being older, if people are sliding on their butts down, I'm like, old man, like get off my lawn.
So when
type.
a place
I'm trying
like that
to skate.
closes, what happens? Like, do they move those ramps somewhere? Do like skate people buy them and shit? Or
so the one in the Morristown Mall that was demolished completely. That was taken apart and all that stuff,
dude. That's so much wood just gone to waste.
X Park in the Franklin Mills Mall. Hate to break it to anybody who doesn't know, but it's all still there. Just saying. So it's not really a secret. Like you could look in the back window and see that it's all still there.
Dude,
but like it's been
there
there
money,
for
yo. They could just open
years. It's been there for 10 years.
They could just open that and just collect free money. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like all you gotta do is put some fucking HVAC in there and let people ride it.
You would know all about that.
Exactly.
Cheers to Big Mac. Shout outs Big Mac for the HVAC. Hell yeah. But no, I agree. Like they should.
I guess it's because of insurance, though.
Oh,
I know like one of the biggest debacles about like skate parks being opened is like the townships don't want people getting hurt and then trying to sue and shit, which is like just put a skate at your own risk sign. It's not that scary.
But in terms of indoor skate parks, another guy from the video, Ronnie. Shout out, more shout outs, Rodney Gordon. He's gonna be opening an indoor park in the near future.
It's
gonna be around here.
Oh my goodness!
In Beverly, New Jersey.
Beverly
So take a look at Rad World, New Jersey when it comes out eventually this summer.
Dude, that's gonna be sick. Yeah. You got to get the first video there, 100%.
Oh, there's already been montages.
Okay.
Cause it's been like kind of like homies like helping build it and all that stuff. So we would like help build it or help like clean up and all that stuff, and then we would skate. Like a really like cool.
You're getting the alpha and the beta. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's gotta be
Rad World beta.
You're on the Rad World beta edition.
Let's patch this hole in the wood real quick. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's awesome down there. Like, yeah.
We got one more question for you. This is the big one. We ask every guest.
Okay.
What is the scariest moment of your entire life?
Oh my God. You know what? This is a great callback to when you asked about injuries before.
The broken toe.
No.
That's scratching
so, like,
the surface.
imagine like, you know what a Philly step is? Like
Philly step.
It's literally just like I think this is what it's called, but it's just like a step with a stoop. So you would be able to like grind it.
Oh, okay. Like it has like a little ridge.
Yeah. But there's I was trying a trick for my part for Bronson, and it was a Philly step to Philly step gap, and they were both around like this wide. So once you ollie up on one of them, you have to immediately ollie to get to the other. Or
you're gonna you're gonna wipe out.
Yeah. And so I landed one off.
I wish
camera.
we had a tech deck for
I should have brought one. But no, so I landed one off camera and I was like, I'm gonna try something a little harder. So my boy Sean, shout out Sean Carrigazi.
Oh, Sean had to be the good friend in this situation. I didn't see where this was going.
He's an amazing friend. He helped me film. So I had a part in one of his videos, and then he filmed like my whole Bronson part pretty much. Like most of it.
Yeah.
He is just a fucking great homie, amazing filmer, and rips on a skateboard.
Shout out.
Yeah, but he he got the camera out. I try one, like I don't get up there, and then I'm just like I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, let's go. I go to ollie up the first one. My back truck gets hung up. And I just go barreling into the second one, smack my hand right here, smack my face right here, and my shoulder. Ended up breaking my hand, but like, dude, I just like from my face right here, I just like shot up. And I just like sat. I was like, I knew my hand was broken, but I wasn't even like worried about that.
You were more worried about like, is your concussion about to be like?
Thankfully, like nothing. Thankfully, nothing.
No blurred vision
cheek.
Or nothing.
My shoulder like took the brunt of it, but like that was definitely the scariest moment of my life. I just like sat there, had to process.
Now, how do you get back on the board after something like that?
That is definitely like it was one of the hardest like
board anxiety moments.
Yeah, and that takes months. Like I let my hand heal. While I was still in the cast, I was like screwing around at the park, just like doing little things on the board and all that stuff. But the truth of the matter is, like,
you were playing, it was super safe type shit.
And it wasn't until like only recently, like maybe late last summer, early this year, that I'm like, okay, I'm not like as scared of skating as I was right after it happened.
No more Philly steps.
No more random little gaps that could maybe shit. And also like that can kind of be prevented by just like visualization and also like risk assessment, which is necessary for
you weren't getting a clip and don't just gun ho be like, fucking, I'm about to do it. I mean, that works for some skaters, but it's always better to just take a step back and and that's good advice, people trying to get into the sport. But it was a pleasure to have you, my G.
Thank you guys so much.
Pound that shit, yo, and hit Antic Skate Shop down below. That's basically where a lot of your videos are going to end up, right?
Yeah, and, Antics and support Antics.
Not Ethan skating.
No, don't go to Ethan skating because well, you could. It's actually, you know what? It might be cinema. It might be cinema.
But and then obviously your Instagram will be down below, and that's where a lot of stuff ends up to keep up with some new tricks and
listen. I got a lot, no shortage of skaters to just flood your pod. So if you need anybody,
you best
let me know.
There will be more collabs.
Skater arc incoming.
Damn right.
See my ass. I'm about to be on the longboard. Yeah. But we'll catch you next time, and stay tuned for more. Peace.
The board.
There will be glazing in this episode of the Void Podcast.